Every night, my house forgets one room. I know it sounds impossible, but it's true. It's been happening for a week now, a slow, architectural amnesia that's swallowing my home whole, piece by piece, while I sleep. It all started last Monday. I came home from work, threw my keys on the counter, and walked down the hall to drop my bag in the guest room. Except, I couldn't. Where the door to the guest room should have been, there was just a wall, smooth, beige, and undeniably solid. For a moment I was completely disoriented. I thought I'd lost my mind. I walked back to the front door, went outside, and looked at the house number. Yep, still my house. I went back inside, my heart thumping a frantic rhythm against my ribs. I ran my hands over the wall, searching for a seam, a hidden latch, anything. There was nothing. It was as if the guest room had never existed. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe I was just exhausted. Maybe the landlord had done some bizarre unannounced renovation, though that seemed highly unlikely. I pulled out my phone and looked at old pictures. There it was, a photo from last Christmas, my sister smiling in front of the guest room window. The room was real. It had been there. I spent the rest of the night on edge, half expecting the wall to dissolve back into a doorway. It didn't. Eventually, I gave up and went to bed, telling myself I'd call the landlord in the morning and sort out this weird, unsettling prank. The next morning, Tuesday, I woke up feeling a little foolish. I was sure daylight would reveal a simple explanation. I got out of bed and headed for the main bathroom. My hand reached for the doorknob, but it met cool, textured plaster. I blinked. The bathroom door was gone. Just like the guest room door, it had been replaced by a seamless stretch of wall. Panic, cold and sharp, clawed its way up my throat. This wasn't a prank. This was something else. Something impossible. I checked the small half bath near the kitchen. Thank God it was still there. But the main bathroom, the one with the tub and the big mirror, had been erased from existence. The floor plan of my own house was changing while I slept. I didn't call the landlord. What would I even say? Hi, my house is eating itself. They'd think I was crazy. Instead, I started documenting. I took pictures of every room, every doorway, every window. I drew a detailed map of the house as it was on Tuesday night. I felt like a cartographer charting a shrinking continent. On Wednesday, I woke up with a sense of dread. I lay in bed for a full 10 minutes, listening. The house was silent, but it was a different kind of silence. A more compact silence. I finally forced myself up and did a slow, cautious tour. The dining room, it was gone. The open archway that led from the living room into the dining area was now a solid wall. My dining table, the chairs, the china cabinet my grandmother gave me, all vanished. The living room now ended abruptly, feeling cramped and wrong. It was like living inside a puzzle box that was slowly closing in on me. I started to wonder if I was the only one who noticed. If a friend came over, would they see the house as I saw it, or would they see the house as it was supposed to be? I was too scared to find out. By Thursday, the fear was a constant companion. It sat on my chest, making it hard to breathe. That morning, it was the study, the little room where I kept my books, my desk, my entire world of stories and research, sealed off, gone. The collection of first edition novels I'd spent years curating, the comfortable reading chair, the window that looked out onto the garden, erased. My house, once a spacious and welcoming place, was becoming a series of disconnected spaces. The flow was gone. It felt less like a home and more like a trap. I started leaving my bedroom door open at night, terrified of what I might find or not find on the other side in the morning. Friday, the kitchen. This one hit me hard. I woke up and the familiar scent of coffee wasn't there because the doorway to the kitchen was gone. I pressed my ear against the new wall, but I heard nothing. No hum of the refrigerator, no ticking from the oven clock. My stomach growled, a pathetic protest against the architectural void. I was now confined to the living room, the hallway, my bedroom, and the tiny half-bath. I had a few snacks in my bedroom, but that was it. The house wasn't just shrinking, it was starving me out. The panic was no longer a gentle clawing, it was a full-blown assault. I paced the remaining space like a caged animal. The walls felt like they were watching me, judging me. Saturday, the living room. I woke up on the couch where I'd fallen asleep, too afraid to go to my bedroom. I opened my eyes, and the world was small, incredibly small. The spacious living room, the couch, the TV, the coffee table, all gone. I was standing in the hallway, which now led directly from the front door to my bedroom door. Nothing else. The house had been reduced to a single corridor. I could touch both walls if I stretched out my arms. The front door was still there, a tempting promise of escape. I thought about leaving, just running out and never looking back. But a strange, morbid curiosity kept me rooted to the spot. What was the endgame? What would be left tomorrow? Last night, Sunday, was the 7th night. I spent the entire night in my bedroom, with the door locked. Even though I knew a lock wouldn't stop whatever was happening, I didn't sleep. I just sat on my bed, staring at the walls, waiting for the sun to rise. I watched as the first slivers of dawn crept through the window blinds. Nothing had changed yet. My bedroom was still intact. I waited, and waited. An hour passed. 2. The house was still. Maybe it was over. Maybe, for some reason, it had decided to spare my last sanctuary. Then, I heard it. It wasn't a sound from outside. It was a voice, and it was coming from inside the walls themselves. It was a low, raspy whisper, like dry leaves skittering across pavement. It seemed to come from everywhere at once, vibrating through the plaster, through the floorboards, through the very air in the room. The voice said, "You were never meant to have this much space." And I understood. It wasn't that the house was forgetting, it was correcting. It was taking back what it felt I didn't deserve. I looked around my room, at my bed, my dresser, the single window. How much space does one person really need? The walls seemed to press in closer, the ceiling felt lower. The voice didn't speak again, but I can still feel it, humming in the structure of the house. I'm still in my bedroom. The door is gone now. There's just a solid wall where it used to be. The window looks out onto a brick wall that wasn't there yesterday. I'm trapped, and I have this sinking feeling that tomorrow morning, when I wake up, this room will be a little smaller, too. And the morning after that, smaller still, until there's no space left at all. Thanks for listening to my story. If you enjoy tales of the strange and unexplained, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Let me know in the comments what you think is happening to my house. I'll see you in the next video.